You guys trying to make airplane rides comfortable for everyone.
That's right. Everybody should be comfortable riding an airplane.
Right.
So as you saw, that's how they're going to move it on out, so you can bring your wheelchair on the plane. I think this is a huge game changer for people who do need their wheelchairs on the airplane. When I travel with Sasha, who, yes, she has mobility, yes, she's a walker, she uses her arm crutches, but when we go on long trips like we did on our Make-A-Wish trip, we took her wheelchair because she can also propel the wheels herself, and it's it's almost her independence and accessibility, so we love to bring it. We had a horrible experience on the way back, to the point where they said to us, we don't know where your wheelchair is. If you're not a wheelchair user, you have to check it in, and you have to take a regular airplane seat. So when you get off the airplane, you know, if you're up front, you can get it checked right off. But for us, we checked it in, and on the way out, you know, we're waiting for all the traffic to get off, and they said, we can't find your wheelchair. And I'm like, how can you not find a wheelchair due to the fact that Sasha's is big enough, and it's bright hot pink, like you can't miss it. It doesn't fold, it's a pediatric one, like it really stands out. So 2 hours later, after they had moved it to a different spot, they had finally found it. So we had to wait in the airport to get the wheelchair back. I think this is a huge game changer because it'd make life so much easier for people in wheelchairs. They could get on with it, they could get off with it, there would be no waiting, no losing, no nothing like that. I hope this soon gets an effect for people such as Sasha and other wheelchair users, because I think it'd make life so much easier for them.
A Juniata County family preparing for the trip of a lifetime hits turbulence on day one when they get to Las Vegas without a vital piece of medical equipment. Chris Davis joins us from the ABC 27 newsroom now. Chris.
Well, Alicia, this Port Royal family had been saving for the Vegas trip for years. And this was not exactly the payoff they were planning.
Yeah.
Mikey Kibe is a gambling man.
We stay out. It doesn't matter the amount. It doesn't matter. He enjoys doing it.
The 25-year-old is beating the odds with cerebral palsy and seizures.
Yeah.
Las Vegas was a dream. His family saved up.
Like our dream trip was actually going to happen. Yeah, this is the report of the complaint.
It didn't go quite as planned.
That's when we got the loaner chair.
No one in the family had flown before. Southwest in Baltimore told them they'd have to treat Mikey's chair as checked luggage due to a full flight.
They know what they're doing, we don't, so we just went ahead with it.
That's despite specific wheelchair storage Southwest says their planes have.
But
Mikey can't walk. His route to the bathroom, his parents say, on his hands and knees.
finally they come in and tell us all your wheelchair's not on the plane. We don't know where it's at.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's where.
That's what I kept saying, how do you lose a wheelchair? How do you lose a wheelchair?
Southwest provided a loaner and said his would be back in a few hours.
They just kind of treated it like it was like a piece of equipment for convenience.
As you heard, it's a piece of convenience for somebody. A wheelchair is not a convenience for somebody to be in. It's not a convenience to lose it. You might be on a trip such as they were to go to once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now you're going to be late to places and they lose your wheelchair. And you know, you can't have it like they said on the airplane. So somebody like him had to crawl on his hands and knees to go to the bathroom because he was too heavy for his parents to carry. So he's on the dirty airline floor. I couldn't even imagine it, trying to go to the bathroom because he doesn't have his wheelchair there. And so many people think of wheelchair as, oh, it's just a necessity. Take a walk in our shoes someday. The older that Sasha gets, it is not anything that, you know, we're proud that we need all of a sudden. it is a mobility issue with Sasha, and she'll have it for the rest of her life. And, you know, the older she gets, the heavier she gets. So it's a hard thing for us to go through. So I seriously hope that airlines get on board with this and do this, because it will be, like I said, a huge game changer. And we need this to happen for people with mobility issues, because, you know, you could see tens of thousands. I was reading one of the comments too, and it was, I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, I do understand why this has to be a bill, because they have to go to legislation and make sure all the ADA and safety and everything else can accommodate, and the airplanes would be safe with it. It's not just, hey, you know, we're going to do this and it's all happy and everything else. And the person said, it is pretty simple to me. Airlines do not ask people who walk to remove their legs for the flight. Why do people in wheelchairs have to remove their legs, meaning their wheelchairs? What happens in emergency landings? People with legs can just get up and walk or run to the nearest exit. How about a person in a wheelchair who is supposed to complete this task without a wheelchair? Great point. So comment down below and tell me if you have great experiences, or you've had really bad experiences with handicap needs on an airline, and which airline. You know, we always fly JetBlue. I would not go with anything else. Yes, they did lose our chair, but they seem to be very accommodating compared to other airlines so far. But we don't travel as much as I'd like to, but I definitely like to in the future as something like this comes into play, because as I said, Sasha's getting older and bigger, so it'd make our life a lot easier. And I was reading comments on there about, I guess they're fighting because of power chairs and special batteries possibly exploding in the air. And a lot of power chairs nowadays use gel batteries. So I don't know how those ones explode, but I don't know how a battery would explode like that in the air. Maybe I'm just not good enough knowledge of that direction, but we don't have a power chair, so that wouldn't be a problem for us.